You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
So we're joined with Kathy Caton here at BRFM. We're right in the middle of the digital switchover, and Kathy, I must say thanks very much for coming down here to talk to our listeners during this in-between stage, as it were.
It's really brilliant to be back. Thank you so much for having me back, and also it's great to be able to say, right, it's all happening. We're in the middle of switchover now, because I know that we've been talking over the last few months trying to get people ready for it, and now it's actually happening. And what people will have found is that BBC Two has now disappeared off analogue forever, and they've needed to retune their kit in order to get their channels back.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's one of the things our listeners have probably noticed, that 1 and 2 have disappeared off Freeview and we've had to retune to get them back.
Absolutely, and that people will also need to do a full rescan rather than just pressing the add channels button. They need to kind of set their kit to scan really as if it's a first time installation, to make sure that they get the channels back, and they'll need to do that again on the 27th, so there's still a bit of time to get sorted if people haven't taken action. But on the 27th, the rest of the analogue channels will disappear forever. We'll cease broadcasting on analogue in the south of England, so it's a pretty big day.
Yep.
And we'll be fully digital, so people need to reset all of their kit to scan for this first time installation again on the 27th. And people also need to remember that it's not just their integrated TVs they need to rescan, but also if they've got say a hard disk recorder or a PVR or anything like that, you need to set those to rescan as well, because the channels will all end up in slightly different places when they're at their full digital strength.
So if our listeners perhaps haven't redone their Freeview box and are trying to make do without 1 and 2, they shouldn't be afraid to do a full-time installation.
Exactly that. And also we find that quite a lot of people decide that actually they'll live without BBC Two for a couple of weeks and just do their what's it called? They'll just do their retuning on the 27th,
yeah.
So on the last day of switchover. Some people are just like, oh no, I can't be bothered with it. I'll go outside and enjoy the fresh air rather than watching BBC Two. But come the 27th, people will need to retune everything because there'll be no analogue signal after then. So if anyone listening to this is still thinking, oh, maybe it's not going to happen, they're not really going to pull the plug, are they? Yes, they are, and all analogue will cease on the 27th, so make sure you retune your kit. If you've got any problems with retuning, there's loads of help available. My colleagues at Digital UK run a fantastic helpline where they can talk you through step by step how to do a retune. They're on 08456 50 50 50, and just give them a call with any technical queries or problems you've got. They're really knowledgeable and patient and calm, so definitely have a chat to them. Also, if you're eligible for help from the help scheme, the help scheme is still open and is going to be open until the 27th of July.
I was going to ask that actually, how long will our listeners still have access to the help scheme?
Yeah, they've got from the last date of switchover, so from the 27th of June, the help scheme is still open actually for a month after then, so it's not too late to get help. Now, the help scheme provides all the practical help and assistance that older and disabled people might need to switch one of their TVs to digital. So that's a qualified installer to come and fit the kit, test your aerial strength, specially designed, easy to use equipment, and also there's a year's worth of aftercare that comes with the help scheme. So if you're age 75 or over, if you've lived in a care home for 6 months or more, or if you get certain disability allowances such as disability living allowance, or if you're registered blind or partially sighted, then you can get help from the help scheme. Just give us a call on 0800 40 85 900, 0800 4085 900, or you can go to our easy to use website at helpscheme.co.uk and we can get you signed up from there. So it's not too late to get help.
So we're right in the middle of the switchover now. Could you just refresh our listeners when the last time is before it all goes off?
Yeah, the key date to circle in your diary and to underline on your calendar is the 27th of June. So that's it's a Wednesday, and that's when all of the analogue signals go off and you'll need to retune all of your digital equipment. Now also, if you've still got a TV that's only getting analogue signals, so now that'll be down to 4 channels or less, you need to take some action with that. You need to get yourself the cheapest and easiest option is to get a Freeview box. Lots of the supermarkets are doing special offers with them at the moment. just plug that in, set it up, and off you go. And that, people will only spend kind of £15 or £20 to convert those second sets. And quite often we find that most people are sorted with their main set, but actually it's those ones in the bedroom or in the kitchen that are just as important, but people don't think of, and they need to be set for digital as well.
Now, also one of the things is, I understand that during this switchover period, the Freeview reception should be becoming a better quality, shouldn't it? Absolutely,
and that's one of the key benefits of switchover, really, is that come the 27th, which I will keep repeating the date ad infinitum, so it lodges in people's memories, but come the 27th, when analogue gets switched off, the power on digital gets whacked right up. At the moment, we haven't been able to do that because analogue and digital are still sharing the same space, right. So there isn't the physical room for them to be broadcasting at full whack together. But on the 27th, the power goes up to full on digital, and hopefully, and again touching wood, that should really resolve all sorts of reception problems that people have been having. That there can be loads of issues, as you've just shown me the beautiful view from the studios here out over the water. Yep. That can really interfere with reception. But come the 27th, your reception problems should generally be sorted out by switchover, but you must retune to get all your channels back.
Kathy, I'd like to thank you very much for coming to us here at BRFM during the middle of the switchover here locally in Swale.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a joy to come here, and also just to remind people of those numbers again, for any kind of technical help, retuning advice, Digital UK 08456 50 50 50, and help and support for older and disabled people from the Switchover Help Scheme is 0800 40 85 900, and we can provide all of the practical help and assistance to help you make the switch to digital.